I am so.
No one said you didn't want the best for me. I'm just saying you haven't let go. I don't flick with your friend.
I wouldn't be calling you.
Years ago.
I wouldn't be calling you if I didn't have an admiration for you. Continuing the Warren Sapp and Lake Okeechobee arrest / lawsuit that Warren now has filed.
Charlie 215 $20.
Thank you. A $20 million lawsuit against. And listen, don't be enamored with the $20 million. He's never going to get that, but he might get. When you throw 20 out there and they're facing that in trial, which I've not seen any footage that makes the Okeechobee that the Okeechobee Police Department can stand behind and say, yeah, procedurally we did it correctly here. So if it's that one-sided, chances are, Jay will tell you, they're going to be writing out that they're going to be getting a hold of who Warren Sapp would have as counsel and say, what's it going to take to make this go away? We don't want this in front of a jury.
Yep.
Because we look bad. And you never know what the number a jury's going to pick. That's what scares most people that settle is that, man, we are so egregiously on the wrong side of this that, the jury is going to see the same egregiousness. And they could very well give the guy. When Hogan asked for $110 million, they gave him $141. Think about it. Hogan only asked for $110 million, and they gave him $141. Gawker so arrogantly, and Jay represented me during this case, and Jerry was there during the depositions. They so arrogantly rolled up in here like they were all that in a bag of chips, and they got their ass as counsel handed to them.
They sure did.
They got home teamed.
Charles Harder, the guy that represented Hogan, came in and he hired local counsel Ken Turkel, and it was that team because the local counsel knew the courts, knew the judges, knew everything, knew how to pick a jury, and that was a fantastic trial team right there.
Pretty damn good when you ask for 110 and they say, nope, 141. This could be the very same deal if it goes to trial because, I cannot see 1 ounce of procedure handling this correctly. All I see is an African-American man that was targeted because he was potentially black and was procedurally handled wrong every time. Everything from the detention to the incarceration to the search, there was nothing done correctly.
I'll be here.
So this is Warren now walking into the police station.
All right.
And if I'm Warren Sapp, I'm like, man, I know that Dion and everybody is going to potentially scrutinize this because I'm in trouble again. But I know that I didn't do anything wrong, and all of this body cam footage and all of this police cam footage and all the footage that my boys took will show that I didn't do one thing wrong. So at this point, man, lock me up because the damage clock is ticking.
Yep.
Right? He would have less damages had a supervisor stepped in and said, no, listen, Warren, you're free to go.
Yep.
Sorry about the misunderstanding, and you could potentially get a lawsuit just on the illegal detention, but you're not. The humiliation and procedural misconduct is the clock on that is ticking with every step of the way from the initial handcuffing to the illegal search to now transporting to the jail. I'm sure they put him behind bars for a few hours until he posted bond. All of that, the damage clock is ticking. Had it stopped at the gas station because the supervisor walked in and shut it down, then you don't have as much damages. But when you continue to humiliate and potentially racially profile a guy to the point where you take him to the cop shop, you fingerprint him, you mugshot him, and you put him in jail, man.
Is he making a racial element? I didn't hear that. Lemmy, do you know if he is or not?
He absolutely should.
If he's not, of course he is. My red flag went up.
No, he is.
He is. He should.
He is.
Yeah.
But he doesn't even have to, though.
But
his civil rights as a citizen of America are being violated. Doesn't matter black, white.
You throw that in there because it obviously, in my opinion, had a little bit to do with it.
I think it.
Did you see any black policemen?
Nope.
Not one.
And again, what you point out, Bubba, about the damages, the humiliation, he's with a group of his peers that he's trying to do. It's probably a charity run.
It is.
So
it's a charity run.
You're with basically the who's who of your community, and you're being humiliated and arrested like this in a pure violation of your civil rights.
Yep.
There's real damages there.
And he's the only black guy around. Period.
With a bunch of little young cops who probably don't know who Warren Sapp is because you hear her say at the end, "Oh, S." I mean,
and here's the deal.
They don't even know who he is.
And here's the deal. It really shouldn't matter who he is.
It should absolutely not matter.
He's a 6'1", 305, well-spoken, asking some questions black guy. That's all he is.
So it looks like he said that what it looked like was they said this is a black man in Okeechobee. He can't know what he's talking about.
Exactly.
So
none of them were familiar with the federal law of 1983. None of them were familiar with that.
Not of 1983. It's called 1983.
It's called 1983.
That's why you just shout 1983 when you're getting tased.
Yeah.
Right.
1983.
They should know what that means.
Which is 1 year before I graduated.
This is still rolling.
No, mine.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to use that. I don't want to mess with it.
It's definitely stopped.
No.
Definitely stopped.
Come on.
I'm right behind you.
Okay. But listen, if you want to request the footage, mine's been rolling the whole time.
No.
No, I understand. And
I mean, and he's being, man, I mean, Warren Sapp is cool as a cucumber.
By the way, she didn't do anything wrong. You hear her?
No.
It's been good to me. I understand that, but I'm not the one who arrested me. Come here, bud. Right
She's got a CYA video going on.
Right there.
That's all I have. Good Lord.
Okay. All right. Are you going to give me your name or no? Okay. He's not going to give a name, so put him in a cell until he wants to give you a name.
Treating him like an animal.
Wow.
Put him in a cell until he wants to give us a name. Like a caged animal.
That is so effed up. That's why she's in trouble too.
That is so.
Put him in the jail until he gives your name. You're not required to do that, woman.
Put him in a cell like almost like a slave.
Yeah.
Throw him in the cell until he's compliant with our white rules.
Yeah.
Or fingerprint, because we're not going to do this all night.
They took his driver's license.
Sapp or something like that? Yeah. But if you don't want to tell me it, that's fine.
See, they already know.
He doesn't have to talk. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to say a goddamn thing.
No.
And they can't throw him in jail specifically because he's not talking
What
to
are you
them.
throwing in jail
You
for?
have the right
Because
to remain silent.
Hold on. When you Mirandized me, because
They
I'm sure
never did. They never Mirandized him. That's the other thing that's illegal.
Hold on.
I didn't hear Miranda.
We don't
we don't know
know.
that because we fast forwarded.
We fast forwarded. I'm sure they
The
Miranda.
second he gets handcuffs, they have to Mirandize him.
I understand that. We don't know that they did or did not. But that being said, I'm assuming they did. And the first line in being Mirandized is, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Do you understand your rights?
Yep. That's got to be spoken in the first minute you're being detained.
And it's got to be, and you have to get the person to acknowledge they understand what you've just said to them.
Right, because they could be deaf or not speak English.
No,
Or understand
this is
English.
a body cam from him. This is his property. My body cam's been rolling the whole time. Look, this is yours. I'm placing it right here.
That's cool.
All right?
Warren's gonna get paid.
They give you the body cam footage just like that?
I never saw
It's
that
his
before.
body cam.
It's his cell phone.
It's his cell phone.
But I don't understand. I don't understand if they're really arresting him, why they would give his cell phone back. If they're really arresting him, they would put that into like a little brown bag and give it to him when they release
With
him.
his watch and everything else, his
I
jewelry.
think it's Warren.
Warren Sapp's getting
Well, no,
I don't think they know who he is.
That
She's like,
wasn't. I don't think it was his cell phone. It looks like he had like a little GoPro.
Yeah.
Sapp or something like that.
This is a white, backward-ass, hillbilly police agency that preys on minorities. I'm just saying that.
I will say I appreciate this body cam because I've actually never seen what it's like to like go into a jail as you're getting arrested.
So now you know, and it's not cool.
But the guy with the glove, the guy that was putting the gloves on though when he was walking in, that was terrifying.
Well, he's not going to go proctal. He's just going to
Bend
go
over.
I want to see how this plays out. I got to go to Words on because we're way late, but I want to see how and where this goes. You know, when I first saw this, Warren Sapp seeks $20 million, I'm like, okay, Warren. But I am so on Sapp's tip right now. I am so pro-Warren. I want to help him spread the word of how he was just so badly mistreated.
It looks like there was only one cop that rolled up that they said knew who he was.
It doesn't
Out of all-
matter.
I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't. He could be John McGillicuddy. It doesn't matter who he is or who he didn't do anything wrong. At that point, he was a 6'1", 305-pound black man in Okeechobee, and that's a crime. It seems as though that's a crime in itself.
It appears you're not allowed to question authority if you're black.
2 decades earlier.
Oh, hey, Bubba, if you
They
go
just
back,
made a
I don't know
huge-
if you want to, but if you go back, because Jay's at 1455, the supervisor does show up, and they kind of give a misleading story.
Here we go.
Oh, sir, can I get a supervisor?
Up. I need to search your pockets.
Please? Can I get a supervisor, please? Can I get a supervisor, please? He asked me to sit in the car, so I said.
All right, here's a supervisor. All right, here we go.
I asked him why am I doing the same.
I don't really give me his name. That's obstruction.
So the cop says he wouldn't give me his name. That's obstruction.
Is that true?
I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
I don't think it is.
He's not. He wasn't
Hold on.
driving.
Especially when you're not the person being investigated. Now,
Right.
had you been the guy that was driving the car and they were pulling you over and they needed to know who you were and they need to see your registration and proof of insurance, at that time you're probably obligated to give your ID. But when you're an innocent bystander that's giving your opinion of how they wrote the ticket, I don't think you have to identify yourself. I don't think when asked, you have to identify yourself. I don't think. Especially when they're not saying, sir, we need to ask you a question. Sir, back off. Sir, you are impeding our investigation. They never gave him any of those warnings. They only said to him, do you want to go to... The first interaction they had with Warren was, they asked him, because he was asking questions, do you want to go to jail? That's not an offense that you have to give your license to.
He kept coming up to me, but
So let me explain what's going on because you're the only supervisor right here. So this
Is what? Look at these. Look at these.
That's a supervisor.
These ignorant white guys. These absolute ignorant white guys who just prey upon minorities and their backward ass. I've been to Okeechobee. It's about as hillbilly as you get.
guy right here, we're conducting a traffic stop.
You guys feel good about yourself? Tweedledee and Tweedledo over there?
He comes walking up thinking he's all big and bad. I ask him for his name. He refuses to give it to me or leave. That's it.
Hold on. You never told him to leave.
And that's what he's telling the supervisor.
Obstruction.
By the way, Bubba, you're right. I can go up to any arrest and I can videotape it. I can criticize them. I can call them names. I could do anything I want. And I don't have to as long as I'm on public property.
As long as you're in public property and you're not impeding their investigation, meaning you're not getting in between them, that you're at safe distance in a public, thoroughfare, you can do anything you want. You can be like, oink, oink, oink.
You're just
oink, oink,
exercising your freedom of speech to confront authority. And you're allowed to do that as an American citizen as long as you're not impeding somebody.
Not as long as you're black and in Okeechobee.
Anytime you're detained, they have to read you your Miranda right. They don't have to read you a Miranda if you're just being questioned on the side of the road. But the moment they detain you, not even arrest you, detain you, they're required to Mirandize you.
I mean, they're taking this now where they're putting him into an interrogation room. Really? You guys got that much time in Okeechobee to worry about an African-American man who may have asked the wrong question at the wrong time that upsets you.
Over a speeding ticket.
That's what, that's what we have here. What is Warren Sapp guilty of? He's guilty of asking a few questions that upset the police officers.
No, he's guilty, Bubba, of correcting their crappy math.
No, but I'm just saying, he's guilty of asking them some questions they weren't familiar with.
But when you're getting
they weren't happy with. I'm sorry.
But when you're getting interrogated, don't you get like a can of Coke and some Reese's? I mean, isn't it better than being in a holding cell?
Is he? I hope he's handcuffed. I hope he's unhandcuffed.
He's unhandcuffed.
Man, that jail can use a paint job.
You ready to camera?
Yes, sir. It's being recorded.
Oh, I was just making sure.
My name's Sergeant Ellis. I'm the road patrol supervisor.
Man, Sapp, good knowing you, buddy, because you're going to get paid. There is not 1% of wiggle room that this has been handled correctly. This, from start to now, is nothing but straight dollar signs, my friend. It's just how far you want to go with it.
Supervisor, you wanted to speak to the supervisor?
I was wondering, you was outside the gas station when they drove away, right?
Yes.
How come we didn't have a conversation yet?
Because you were already in the back of a patrol car and we needed to get you out of there as quick as possible.
And that's what we came up with?
That's what happened.
Okay.
Whenever there's a situation like that, we try to clear the area as quick as possible.
Because?
Because there's a large group of people there and it could turn dangerous.
It was peaceful. We were peacefully assembled.
At that point.
Well, your officer had been there.
Hold on. At that point, well, there was never there was never anything different. If you go at that point, what you're now going to predict that there was going to be a civil uprising? You're going to predict that? Warren's right. At that point, yeah, there was never any instance or any indication that that people were going to start throwing rocks and bottles. Everybody had their cell phones out peacefully.
15 minutes writing a ticket.
Well, the officer was screaming for backup too, so we went.
I got that part. So now, with my situation,
you asked to speak to a supervisor, so I'm here. What would you like to know?
What am I here for?
You're being arrested for obstruction.
That's a physical act, right?
No. It's impeding an investigation. It could be physical, it could be...
Warren's owning this guy.
He sure is.
Warren is owning this guy.
He should have given him his Miranda rights. Right. Did you like the right to remain silent?
Because I'm going to absolutely school you. Here we go.
To leave, it could be continue to interject yourself into an investigation that's being done on a separate situation.
Wasn't an investigation. It was a ticket being written, right?
It was a traffic investigation.
So after you hand the person the ticket, the traffic stop is effectively over.
Dan, he's so smart.
God, he is so smart.
You got the same thing Dan picked up.
Same thing Dan said.
Well, the deputy was still talking.
No, I was asking, after you hand the ticket to the man, the effectively over? The stop is over?
It depends.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, bud.
Asking.
If the ticket is being explained to the individual who has the physical ticket in his hands, then no, it's not good.
So the explaining would be coming over the top of the hill at 45 and it drops to 35, whatever else. Ticket's in his hand, he's folding it up, the stop isn't over?
Whatever the explanation is.
No, I'm just asking.
I'm telling you.
Why he's folding it up?
Mr. Sapp, I'm not going to argue with you.
Definitely not going to argue with you.
You'll have your day in court. I understand that. So.
Oh no, because I just had my rights violated. Your officer said to me, "Do you want to go to jail?" First thing he said out of his mouth to me.
True. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go to jail? Oh, Sapp, hold on. I got to go to words, but you know what? Sapp's going to break it down for you right now.
Yeah.
He's going to break it down. Jay, he's going to basically write his own complaint. Here we go.
I said, "Excuse me? What's your name?" So I laughed. Because I do have a right to remain silent, right? I have the right, Fourth and Fifth Amendment, right?
Yes, you absolutely have a right to remain silent. But you don't have the right to interject yourself into an investigation.
Interject myself?
Yeah, were you in the vehicle that had been stopped?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So what purpose were you in that traffic stop?
I wasn't in the traffic stop. The traffic stop was over.
The traffic stop was still being conducted.
The traffic stop was over. She hadn't handed him the ticket. The lady that was doing the stop was here. Eagle Man was here. There was another officer here. I was here. I said to the other officer that didn't arrest me, I said, "How fast was he going?" He said, "I don't know. It's not my stop." I said, "You know what? It's right." So I walked over and looked at the ticket because the lady said that he was doing double the speed limit. And I was like, "That's pretty fast. I don't think he was going that fast just then." And he wasn't going double. So I just asked her, I was like, "We just want you to be factual, man. You have the speed right there. There's no reason to say the man was going double when he wasn't." And that's when I got his attention. "You shut up. I don't have a my First Amendment right is free speech and doesn't work in Okeechobee."
It doesn't work in Okeechobee. Not when you're black.
Yes, you have the right for freedom of speech. Once the ticket was explained to them and he leaves, that's when the traffic stop's over.
He wasn't in the traffic stop.
The guy that had the ticket in his hands.
No, the officer with me. He
was back up to the officer that was there conducting the traffic stop.
The traffic stop was over.
Okay. But I'm not going to argue semantics.
No, there ain't no semantics. I mean, his body cam was on and everything, right?
Correct.
That's all I need. All the officers that was there, body cam and all that good stuff. And
yeah, it'll all be in there. And
1983 deprivation of rights. My first, my fourth, and my fifth.
Yes, sir.
Damn. Drop the mic. We don't need to see anymore. Warren, good knowing you, buddy. You're going to get paid, kid.
And by the way, sorry this happened to you.
Yeah.
That sucks. Danny and I have been asked to go on these types of rallies for years, and we've never done it before just because I don't feel like driving across the state with a bunch of, people.
Sure.
It's just not my thing. I like
Your
being on the track.
Your thing is going on the track.
It's just not my thing.
Right.
It's other people, car guys, that's their thing. And
You're
it's
a
all
track
done
guy.
for charity. 100%.
You're a track guy.
But the humiliation, I can't imagine if that happened to me with all of my peers around, and it's just unbelievable. I'm sorry, Warren.
I am too.
And it's hard to, he and I have had our differences over the years.
We all
but
have. We've all had problems with Warren.
Beyond differences.
This is his, listen, bona fidely, 100%. Okeechobee, start sharpening your pencil. Warren Sapp's civil rights were trampled, absolutely trampled. Thank God there's body cam of it all. Because it just Jay, in court, all you got to do is hit play. Just, ladies and gentlemen, the journey. I'm a big slinging D attorney named J.D. Acco, and I can sit here and give you all these different, state statutes and civil rights deals, but I don't think I have to. If you could just be so patient as to watch the body cam and watch this thing unfold on its own, I will rest my case after the last footage is over. Boom, hit play. And it tells it lays it all out. Wow.
He's his own best advocate, to
Here's
be
the
honest.
problem, though, Bubba. Okeechobee ain't got no money. They're one of the poorest counties in Florida.
They got insurance.
They got an insurance company.
They got an insurance company, buddy.
What if they have to name the city after him because they're so poor?
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
This is Sapp. What's up, 99? Bubba.
Your program number one in your heart, son. Todd Clem, what it do, baby?
Todd Clem. Remember when we were fighting back in the day? It used to call up and go, Todd Clem, please. I'd be like, it's Bubba. And you go, Todd Clem, please. Todd Clem, please. Hey, did you ever get the message when Dion announced that he was signing you? I texted Prime and I'm like, man, what a great signing! Giving this guy a chance when major universities probably wouldn't. He's going to get up in there. He's going to change your D line for the good, and he's going to be well on his way to some good stuff. Did you get that message?
Yeah, he showed it to me.
Yeah, I was like, man, I am Dion. Thank you.
He said, look at your boy Bubba.
Look at your boy Bubba.
Man, I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't got no problem.
We ain't got no.
Todd Cliff was on the radio having fun. Did I smoke herb? Yeah, I ain't have no motherfucking problem.
Yeah. So listen.
Tell the world I got weed in my pocket. They got to give a fuck.
And you know what, man? Hey, the weed in your pocket helped you be a Buccaneer because I think that's what made you drop a little bit.
I didn't have any. I know
they had.
I was sober.
They had it all wrong.
13 years, I was dead ass sober. Old Black and Miles and Newports and shit. Fuck, if that.
So listen, listen, bud. You and I are obviously had a past, but I deep down just am so pulling for you.
You know what somebody told me a long time ago, Mr. Clem.
What's that, Mr. Sapp?
That your past don't equal your future.
No, you're exactly right. And so as Dion hired you, I was like, man, that's all Sapp needs is for somebody to believe in him. He's going to get up in the system. And I got to tell you, man, year to year, one of the major changes in Colorado, as I follow them closely, is the defensive line. You got them, before year one, they weren't dogs. Year two, they played like Sapp dogs. Hand control, quickness off the ball.
Teaching do right. That's it. Just teaching do right. Because if you do right, everything you want in life will come to you, young man. People
didn't realize how explosive you were, and that most of the time your success started with that first step in hand control. Am I right, Warren?
Oh yeah, you had to have a get off. It was about penetration for me.
Because usually you were undersized. You were undersized.
Penetration and leverage. Low man wins. I never bought it. No big. I used to love when he was 6'6". He can't get down where I'm at.
No, you see, man. How about Philadelphia and that offensive size, that offensive line set? Would you be having a heyday with those guys that are 6'8", 6'7"?
Listen, I would have tortured Pat Mahomes' O-line just like Philly did. But I mean, you can't have a tackle at guard. What? What are you doing?
I mean, I will tell you, man, if you watch that same game, one would say that the defensive line won that game for Philly.
I tell you what, that quarterback was playing damn good football.
yeah, Jalen.
Yeah. But I mean, when you got Pat Mahomes got 55 yards in the third quarter and they got 55 yards worth of penalties, you're in real good shape to win a football game.
Yeah.
I mean, with the pick six, it was over.
Now, Warren, how excited are you to be with Dion, to be on one of the most talked about programs in America? You know, how the electricity that is around you, you know, is it just unbelievable in the opportunity that you have? And I just know that Dion's really big on creating good men. He takes your boy and turns you into a man. The kids got great grades. You got the highest graduation rate so far. You got Shador and Travis that might, probably both top 10 guys. What about your defensive line? Do you got some NFL prospects that have an opportunity to be drafted on your D-line?
BJ Green should have an opportunity to be drafted, and Shane too. Shane Coates, big 6'5", 285-pound D tackle. He could play 5 technique in the league. So we got some pretty good. We got some pretty good kids. But we basically had a bunch of young kids in my group. 48% of our sacks coming back, and only 3 guys leaving the room. So, and I've reloaded it. We reloaded it with some gunpowder that we won't shoot now. So
now,
so we're gonna have fun.
Warren, has the NIL deal has it changed the face of football so competitively that it's like, obviously it's not the days of when you were up in Apopka and went down to Miami and things like that. I mean,
Warren would have had 10 mil in NIL days.
Yeah, Warren would have had 10 mil. You would have had 10 mil in NIL days, Warren. I'll tell you that right now.
So you telling me Coca-Cola or Pepsi would have had me doing a Joe Green commercial?
Hey, I'm telling you this. Somebody would have had a bag for you to do something. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know who it was, but somebody would have had a bag for you.
Yeah. You're talking to a guy that got $32 a weekend to play at Miami. So this is outside my comprehension, Bub. It really is, my man. It's really outside my comprehension, but they really do a good job. The people around us with, the recruiting and administrative staff and everybody that, has their hand in that NIL, part of it. They do a wonderful job. I go nowhere near that.
Right.
Because for somebody that got $32 a weekend to be the baddest thing that we saw on a Saturday afternoon in a long time, I can't even comprehend it.
No. So now, Warren, let me ask you. We watched your thing that happened in Okeechobee, and we watched it. We watched it all, and man, I mean, there's a huge racial component to this. And I don't know if you're going there or if that's part of your lawsuit, but I mean, to me, hold on, as a white,
so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I mean, I
gave you a taste of it. I didn't. My guy that put it together over there, Accountability for All, Josh Abrams. I really, took my hat to my guy because I reached out to him because I needed some help with it because I knew it was wrong, but and the thing about it is, but when you never taught your rights. And when you know them, and you're sitting there having a discussion with a law enforcement officer who's a field training officer, you're like, what?
I mean,
and you don't know this.
When you're in the interrogation room,
no, hold on, give me a second. Then you talk to the sergeant who should have came and saw me when I was sitting in the back of the car. They had a plain discussion because he walks over to him and asks him, what was I driving? And they both say I wasn't driving because I wasn't driving.
Right.
And if I'm not driving, then how can I be arrested for obstruction? That's a secondary charge. And I'm sitting there talking about there's a field training officer and a sergeant on the scene that won't do their job. And then give it to the jail, and I'm asking them, when is a traffic stop over? And you can see it. Whenever they say it is.
You completely owned him in the interrogation room. You're like, listen, at the end of when the guy folds the ticket up in his pocket, we're over. We're over. The investigation's over.
No. He tell, and then he said, what does he say? Well, it depends.
Depends.
I'm asking.
Yeah, it depends. And so, I mean, and like,
on what?
for you, and listen, obstruction would be, and like you said, it's a physical thing. Had you positioned yourself between the officer that was inquiring and the guy that got the ticket and been all loud but you just were maybe 6 to 8 feet away asking a question. That's it.
No, actually, the thing that got me was when I touched the ticket and looked down, and she was like, "I'm trying to teach you something here." I'm like, "What? Teaching? You talking about double? 69 ain't double for 35. We all love 69. And that ain't double 35. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I may have gone to a Popka, but I can double 35 now. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Hey, listen.
Actually, wasn't it Plymouth? Wasn't it Plymouth, Florida, where you actually live? Plymouth.
Yeah, Plymouth, where I live, and Parker, where I went to high school.
Right.
They can't put a high school in every little town.
So
wouldn't be enough people. Wouldn't be enough people to go.
So as we're watching this tape, I'm like, man, Warren knows that that civil rights clock is ticking with every aspect of this arrest, from the illegal detainment to the illegal search It's all poison, fruits of a poisonous tree. So since the detainment was illegal, everything else is thrown out. And so I'm like, when they got you at the cop shop.
No. Let's just go back to the policies and procedures of a deputy sheriff in the great state of Florida.
Correct.
And a field training officer. You have to investigate before you detain.
Right. Did they ever, Miranda? Did they ever?
You have to have a reasonable suspicion.
Did they ever?
You need reasonable articulate suspicion.
Correct.
To ask me for my ID.
Right.
But Warren, I watched you in that interrogation room.
He's holding his hand up in an ID form, but he's saying out of his mouth, "What's your name?" I gave him the worst 4 letters, the worst 4 words you can give an officer. I don't answer questions.
Right. By the way, this is Jay Diaco, Joe Diaco's son. Jay, go ahead.
I just wanted to say I watched you in that interrogation room, and you got him it was like you were interrogating him. That's the best evidence of everything.
I was just helping him pierce his qualified immunity because he has to know his job.
Of course.
That's all I was doing, help him pierce his qualified immunity.
You handled yourself with respect and decorum, and you did everything right.
Why wouldn't I? I just have a lot of stories about me acting wild, but
no.
I want to see my video of me acting wild. We have video since I've been here, right?
We ain't talking about Warren Sapp's Wyland days. We're talking about this Okeechobee deal.
No, this is Warren Sapp, post 50 years old.
I still ain't seen the tape from the Wyland days. I just keep hearing the stories.
Ty J will tell a few stories.
Like I said, I just keep hearing the stories. I never been got on tape. Well, one time it was ugly.
He's really our boy. We love him to death. Ty J listens to the show all the time, keeps us up to speed on how you're doing. Ty J's my man.
That's my baby. That's my dog right
That's
there.
your dog right there.
Life right there. That's my dog for life. It was a 4 horsemen when I first got to Tampa. It was me, him, Hop, and Courtney Hawkins.
That was a 4 horsemen.
The 4 horsemen.
Now, Warren, I've often heard from a lot of guys that Ty J, being a brother from Detroit, like Ty J, he may not have been a superstar like you and all, but in the locker room, man, people really respected Ty J. Like they didn't want to mess with that brother.
Because in the old NFL, you needed a blocking tight end,
right?
And he would move you.
Oh, he would hammer. He said he used to come down on Hardy. He would come down on Hardy at practice, and Hardy would get mad as hell.
Listen, he come down on anybody. It didn't matter. If you are the target, he is going to hit it.
And he is no nonsense, just like you. He does not care. He'll just knock your head off.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Hey, we had Favre on a while back, about a year ago, and we're like, Favre, who's your? I'm like, who's your? We're like, hey, Favre, who did you? In the NFC, man, who did you? He's like, man, that 99 from. He'd be like, man, that 99 from Tampa, man. We had some tussles now.
It was fun.
I think a couple times you sacked him, and he actually slapped you on the ass and told you good sack a couple times. Did he not?
Oh, all the time we'd go back and forth because it was just what was gonna happen. I knew I wasn't gonna knock him out. I knew he wasn't leaving the game. We was just gonna do what we had to do for 4 quarters and look up at the scoreboard and see who won.
So
country boys just going at it.
So what's the next step, Warren, with the Okeechobee deal? It's so one-sided. Like I said, all the lawyers got to do is hit play and let it lays it all out. It speaks for itself. I mean, are they talking? I mean, I think, Warren, they're going to settle and say, you know, what will it take for this thing to go away? Because it's a bad look for them. It's a bad look.
Well, it's not about the money for me. I walked in the man's office and asked him for an apology. 14 days after the district attorney, the associate district attorney, dismissed the case and basically wrote in the thing that obstruction is a physical thing. Exactly what I was telling the field training officer on the scene. Now, how don't they know this? And then we talk about another 14, 15 officers on the scene, and nobody intervened to stop this. I had 4 off-duty officers riding in the charity rally with us, explaining it to the cops that how this was wrong. And the sergeant was looking at them explaining it. And then they asked the sergeant, "You want to see the video?" No, he's going to jail. Like, what?
You know what? When the sergeant came up to you and got up kind of in your personal space in the compartment, all he had to do was to do the right thing and say, you know what, get the cuffs off this dude and send him on his way.
Let me help you. That was the Okeechobee Police, City Police.
Oh, okay, all right.
There was sheriffs that came around.
That was their sergeant. Their sergeant is the one that she went over and tried to get, and he ignored her. And she says, "You just gonna ignore me like that, Sarge?"
Wow.
And that's the guy that I'm in the room with, talking to him like, "Yo, why did you come see me at the scene? Why am I here? You know, why am I here? Now, we had to get you out of there."
Now, Warren,
how long? Get me out of there.
How long did they detain you for? We didn't see like after
the detain. You mean how long was I sitting in jail, arrested, fingerprinted, mug shot twice?
Yeah.
3 hours.
Wow.
They had to wait while this field training officer was sitting in his car describing me as the unidentified black male in his report.
Really?
12 times.
Oh, my God.
Unidentified black male, unidentified. What does my race have to do with anything in this situation?
Well, unfortunately, it had a lot to do with it because that's why they treated you like.
But this idiot writes it. Unidentified black male, unidentified black male, I'm just supposed to be an unidentified male.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because he's writing a narrative. This is the creative writing that they get into.
Well, that's also the mindset that they have in backward ass.
No. That's what they're taught. That was creative writing. You have to write it. But the best part about it is his narrative is nothing but constitutionally protected activities by me. Everything that he wrote in his report that I did is constitutionally protected.
You owned him with 1983. I mean, you owned him when he was interrogating you. You owned him.
I mean, here's the thing. How does somebody that swore an oath to the Constitution don't know it?
Hold on. The only person that knew it was you. Nobody else knew it.
And I just swear the oath.
I know.
And I don't get taxpayer dollars to the tune of $80, $90, $100,000.
Right. Well, listen. I just want to let you know we watch, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I can get Sapp on.
No. I got this one for you. You two gonna fall over on this one. So, Officer Coolsfair, who is the officer that I'm talking to about, is what's double? And he was like, no, that's not my ticket. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's the guy I'm talking to. You know what he writes in his creative writing when he gets to the jail?
No.
I was approaching the lady officer, and the field training officer was yelling at me to stop approaching her.
Never happened.
Stop advancing.
Never happened.
He writes this.
Thank God for body cams.
He writes this down in his official report.
I love.
He wrote this in black and white. I was blown away.
I love when you got out. I love when you got out of the car and you go, "Oh, this is being taped and all." And they're like, "Yeah." And you're like, "All right, cool."
That's it.
Because you knew.
Let me know we rolling. Let me know we rolling.
We rolling.
But here's the kicker. Most families in America can't handle a $400 medical emergency, right?
Yep.
So what do you do with a $750 wrongful arrest and then another $260 for the body cam footage.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
$900 into it. The average person that's been violated by some good old boy network can't afford that, and so it goes. It just.
And then can't get a lawyer to be able to file the 765 dot whatever you got to do in the state of Florida to actually get it going to get it to a federal level.
The FOIA request.
There's steps to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then most people, and then then you go to get a complaint form from the Okeechobee Sheriff's Office, and it starts with a paragraph and a half of threats that if you're about to write a report that we find has any wrong information in it, we're going to come after you with the full extent of the law. Here you go. Now fill out your complaint. What?
After they try to intimidate you.
Oh, absolutely.
Man.
This is the definition of intimidation and unlawfulness, no constitution.
Weaponization of the government.
Officers. And there's sheriff officers who are constitutional officers. This is unreal. Unreal.
Now,
I asked the head man in his office. I said, Sheriff, just answer this question for me, because I knew it was about to go sideways, because I walked in his office and told him I'm basically looking for an apology, because the last time we spoke, you hung the phone up on me. And he said, yep. I said, okay, this ain't going to last long. So I asked him, I said, can you tell me when the traffic stop is over? When we say it is.
Oh. Just some good old boy, backward ass, white nonsense.
So if the head man says this, you know it filters down.
Yeah, of course.
You're going to effect change.
Then the lieutenant who wouldn't come see me when I asked the sergeant, yo, is your lieutenant on scene? And I was there another 90 minutes. That was just the first hour and a half when he got there. Then I had another hour and a half to wait. I asked for the lieutenant. He never shows up. And then writes an after-action report. And I'm in the sheriff's office, and he's telling me all kind of, you're not going to defend your case over my desk. I'm like, my case was dismissed 14 days ago. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, you're right. I made an after-action report, made my office do an after-action report, and they did some things and some actions have taken place because of your concerns. You know, I hadn't even filed my official complaint. Why he's saying this to me? And what actions have taken place about my concerns that I haven't even written to you yet? And then the man proceeds to tell me about this after-action report that is a public record, and I say, I would like to request it through you. That ain't how it works. I say, Florida Sunshine Act 119, that ain't how. I need the public tell you, the public servant, the public record that I want, that you just said that's available to me, and you tell your people they send it to my email. That ain't how it works. No, that ain't how. I got all this on body cam. This is crazy. So then I look at the man, I'm like, what? And he's arguing with me over and over and over again about this. I'm like, all right. So I walk outside to go get the after-action report. He walks over to a window that's closed. I'm looking at him like, what? Come over here. I'm like, no, I'm good right here. He's like, stand over here. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he looks up and sees the windows closed. I'm like, she's over here. I've been talking to her all morning. That's why I came to get the body cam footage. She's over here. And now, can you do me a favor and tell her the public record that you were just talking about in your office? I will not. I'm like, what?
So every step of the way, they have been uncooperative.
No, listen, Bub, here's the clincher to this. I'm in his office on 3/15. Guess when the after-action report was actually written in black and white?
On March 15th.
No, the 19th. He's a time traveler.
Oh, okay.
The 19th. It hasn't even been written. It hasn't even been written. So I think we're conspiring. You know, there's another one, conspiring to deprive me of my rights to redress my government.
Yeah.
For grievances.
You got them.
I believe that's what they're in violation of too. Because here's the clincher. I finally, after he done told me about the after action report, they give it to me, and I say, there's no date on this. When was this written? It's like, oh, let me find out.
So Warren,
319.
Have you?
No, wait, man, please, 319. So I said 319. I said, you know what? I need to file my official complaint, because that would be the first step in, actually, getting to this. I call Internal Affairs. Internal Affairs say they will not take my complaint.
Why?
You tell me.
So this is just a big, well, they're freaked out that you got them every which way. Like there's no wiggle room at all. You got them so nailed. And so you got them so afraid of the whole deal in itself that they won't even internally investigate it because here's the deal. They need to start calling your lawyer and asking what this is going to take to make this go away. That's what they need to do.
And they need to change the training procedures.
A lot of people getting fired because it's not about the money.
No.
This is about accountability and transparency. I am going to get it. And I'm still waiting on the metadata from the body cam footage. Because they stop, start, pause, do all this. There's an inventory of it. They won't give it to me. I've been asking for that since March. Still won't give it to me.
Do you think you'll get it?
I got to. That's our taxpaying dollars that we put in there. We pay for the officer, the camera, the car, the database that is held in, and the building that it's in. That's all us.
Right. So
that's what we pay for.
So what's the next step, Warren? Like, where do we go from here?
Oh, no, it's their move.
It's on them.
It's on them. They have 180 days to reply to what we file, and then it'll move along. And however they want to handle it, they're going to handle it. But what I want is to put them in depositions because, to write these lies. Yeah, because it's time to, because I know there's some termination and some Florida certifications that have to be taken because there's no way you write these lies in black and white and turn them in as truth.
As a sworn police officer, nonetheless.
Yeah, and then you do this to me. Just imagine what they're doing to the rest of the regular people.
Imagine what they're doing to some brother that ain't got a lot of money.
That's what I'm telling you. That ain't got the time or the knowledge or knows his rights.
Were they so young that they didn't recognize who you were, Warren?
Really?
Did they? I thought it was ridiculous.
I'm over a half a century old in this month, and I've been rocking a mohawk. For the last 2 years.
But here's the deal, Warren. I'm not being disrespectful. It doesn't really matter who you are. You just
another you know what I'm about to say.
Just another one. You're just another brother.
With 4 degrees and a PhD. You saw what they did. All right. How about the 11-year-old little girl that they pull over in New York? Talking about they looking for somebody that stole a car. What? 11-year-old little black girl walking down the street with her friends. They pull her over to we roll up on her to we looking for a suspect. Put her in handcuffs. We looking for a suspect that stole a car. What? And then they look at the description of the girl. She's supposed to have pink hair down to her butt. This girl didn't have it. Red shoes. She don't have it. After they realize they're wrong, they release the girl. They let her go. Take out her handcuffs. Go get in their car. Guess what the cop says as he's driving off? You are an identical match. What? We used to fit the description. Now we're in an identical match when you're wrong too.
Yeah. I'd love to keep up on this, Warren, and give me updates as it happens throughout the.
Listen. What you have is a new way of me and you getting in contact with each other. Don't worry, brother. I won't leave you out because I know you like me. We not against cops.
No.
But we got plenty of cops that we love and know because I love my Florida Highway Patrol because they've been all the sidelines and up and down and we trade coins and do all jokes and everything. I don't like bad cops.
Dion has offered me he's like, Sponge, you need to. I'm going to come out to a game this year, and I was going to bring Ty J with me. Me and Ty J come to a game, and so if you see us out there one weekend, don't beat me up or nothing.
Wow!
Can I get one in real quick, Sponge?
Wow!
I just want to picture.
Wow! Wow, that's right. You do got to keep Crystal River on your side.
You got to keep Crystal River on my side, cuz you know that. Buddy. Come on,
really?
Now. Hey, remember the commercial we did when I was looking at your wiener? Remember that one?
I was just about to say we made one of the hottest commercials ever, and I need a copy of that so I can bring that one back.
I've been looking for it.
And if Cowhead and Pete are correct, that's the day that I guess you had one of your friends there, and I say I didn't flick what started all this.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you know it all.
With your sensitive ass skin, bro.
It was a badass commercial though when I was looking at your watch and everything. Oh, that was badass.
And then you get butt hurt because you bring a friend and he don't get a picture. Really?
Oh, stop it! I'm not bringing that up now. That's long gone. That's all gone.
Get in line.
Get in line.
Get in line.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, hold on. Seth Kushner for a question. Go ahead.
Warren, I just want to know, man, how great is Travis Hunter?
Brother, Did you see my Rich Eisen show?
Yeah.
When I was explaining it to Rich.
Yes.
I'll do it for you too. It was unreal every day to walk in there and watch the game. Because I got a sneak preview the year before because I went to go check with Dion, right before they went to TCU for game one the year before I got there. And I actually watched him make that pick on the sideline where he, does that jump back in and out and jump back on the sideline and get it. And I had watched a week of practice before that. But when I got there and I watched him every day, because you talk about a dog with me. I mean, you can ask any of my teammates, when you come to practice with me, it is on. You go anywhere in between the lines with me and it's on. I am going to tear your ass up and smile at you because you're my teammate. I got to still love on you, but I got to whoop you. And that's what Travis did every day. And then he did it on both sides every day. It was unreal. It was unreal to watch the game. I call a friend of mine week 2 and say, I know y'all like to, do some illegal stuff. I know who's gonna win the Heisman.
if you want to bet early, get it in early, cuz.
I know y'all like to play with numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this, and I know I was the baddest thing in college football, and this kid runs circles around me.
And I got to tell you, where I really knew that he was the guy? Because a lot of times corners kind of have that reputation of not wanting to hit. They don't want to hit.
When he hit the dude on the goal line.
Yeah, he single-handedly won that game because he put his hat on the ball, and that's so not corner-like. You know that. And the guy put the hat on the ball, saved the game. You guys were going to lose without that.
Bubba, you saw Colorado just hired Marshall Falk too, huh?
Oh, Dion just hired Marshall.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, we call it 3 the hard way.
Mm-hmm. So listen, you guys as coaching under assistant coaches, you guys got 3 Hall of Fame coaches for the Colorado Buffaloes: Warren Sapp, Marshall Falk, Deion Sanders. What other program can say that? Nobody.
I ain't even asking.
You ain't even asking because you know the answer.
I'm not even asking. I don't know what you got at your program. I hope you got everything you need because we gonna come. If we on the schedule, please believe we coming.
We coming. And like Dion says, we ain't hard to find.
And mine is I'm easy found. I'm twice his size.
Now,
I'm easy found.
I always knew that you were good friends with Dion throughout the league and stuff like that. And many a times Dion would tell me, "Man, Sponge, you need to get along with 99." So Dion always tried to bring us together. But what's Dion like as a boss and as a coach? Is he as cool? I mean, is he just? I mean, I know he demands excellence, but he's now officially your boss and you work for him. What's it like?
You want to know? You want to know what we call him?
Dad?
We call him the black Nick Saban.
So if I text him today and said, "Hey, I spoke to 99 and I'm supposed to call you the black Nick Saban," I won't get in trouble for that?
No, he knows we call him the black Nick Saban. He don't play no games.
Yeah, no.
He don't play no games. Yeah. He don't play no games. No. Boss don't play. Boss don't play, and we don't play with boss.
Yeah. Boss is stiff, is he not, man? Boss is stiff. Woo.
No. He's not stiff. He's rigid.
Right.
He's rigid and stern. Because you can, it is what it is with him. I mean, first of all, with dads. That's first and foremost.
Right. Your dads.
With dads, and when you were around 18 to 22-year-old, mostly young black men. You want to make sure that they have an opportunity to get some generational wealth, and that's what's in front of them.
Right.
I'm telling you, you're talking about somebody that got $32 a weekend at Miami.
Right. But we're also talking about a guy that got $36 million for 6 years. I'm just saying, made some money. You made some great money.
Yeah, it's half go to the government, and then I got a divorce and 6 kids. So now
that's more.
And I like to hang out and travel. So, the money don't make the man. The man makes the money.
Exactly. Hey Warren, such good talking to you, my friend, and we would love to keep up.
Always. Hey Diaco, check
man.
him out, man. Make sure he good over there. Make sure he good, man. Check his blood pressure. Make sure he good.
Everything's good, Warren.
Lord.
Good, my friend. And listen, let's keep
All
up.
right.
Let's keep up on the progress of this nonsense. And I'm so excited for you. We watched it all.
No, we're gonna keep up with this violation because when
absolutely.
you violate, we litigate.
That's
And
right.
I wanna teach a generation the rights. Because my vision is, but listen to this: a 17, and a 16-year-old are leaving basketball practice in any city in America. It's cold. Chicago, New York, Baltimore, Philly, Atlanta, Florida's even a little chilly around basketball season. They're walking home. All of them have what on? Hoodies, right?
Right.
They got their backpacks on. They walking down the street. Officer get a little frisky, roll up on. Hey, what y'all doing? Where y'all going? Right? They're in a high crime neighborhood. That's the only place we live. and that's where they patrol. I want all three of these young men to pull their phone out because we gave the kids the greatest weapon they have. But now they got to know their rights to be able to do it. Pull out their phone, go to record, and say, name and badge number, and continue what you were saying, officer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole different situation, isn't it?
It is, and it's
Whole
not.
different different situation.
It's not disrespectful. It's not anything.
Because when me and my boys were standing on the corner, they used to roll up on us, tell us to get on the ground, and we had to get on the ground.
For real, like back in the day, back in Plymouth, man, they'd throw you on the ground.
Get on the ground. Get out. Everybody get out. Everybody get on the ground.
Before
Even
body
if you got
cams?
some nice white outfit on First Friday and you finna go out, you're getting on the ground.
Mess it up.
My homeboy one time was in a push-up position, down the ground because he had his all white on finna go to the party.
Hi.
Cop stepped on his back. He had a footprint on his back and dirt on his front when he got up. He had to go home and change.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Not knowing your rights is the worst thing in the world because these are rights that we were born with.
Now I'm going to
They stopped teaching civics in high school, and they went to social studies and geography.
I'm going to ask you a question that I don't want you mad at. But a
lot.
It's a question that I think a lot of people want to ask you because I think that it might be a path. And I don't say this out of disrespect to my good friend Primetime.
No. Don't apologize for the question. Just answer. Let's see what it is.
I'm going to ask it because I think that indeed this could happen. So Warren Sapp needed a chance. Warren Sapp comes with...
No. Is this a question?
Yes,
Sounds
it
like
is.
A dialogue.
I got to...
Sounds like a dialogue. Let's get off the dialogue and get to the question.
No, you know how I am. You and I are boys. Now, come on. Let me just.
That's why I want the question. Let's not apologize for what we about to ask. Let's just ask the question.
You've instilled yourself as a defensive line coach for a Power 5 school in Colorado. Power 4. You've done a great job. You're an unbelievable recruiter. You're a Hall of Famer. Do you see where this could potentially set you up for a head coaching job like at an HBCU or something like that? Because I do.
I have no interest.
Okay. I mean, it was a good question, though, wasn't it, bud?
It was a fast answer, wasn't it?
You're so stiff. You're so stiff.
What you're failing to realize is that this ain't about me. My legacy is set. I have a bust in Ohio, a full statue in Tampa, and my name sits in 3 NFL stadiums. One I'm on a Saturday afternoon down at Hard Rock for the University of Miami. My name sits there. My name sits in Relon Stadium with the Raiders. You can walk around there, a whole mural of me sitting in that thing. It's nice. And it sits in Raymond James Stadium, the baddest stadium in America. So it's not about me anymore. And what Dion did for me was allow me to put a blank canvas in front of young men who gonna paint with bold strokes. Have you ever seen a Picasso? It looked like an 8-year-old draw them stick figures on that shit. It's crazy to me. So I tell my young man, you can draw a masterpiece, young man. Do you understand? And that's all I'm here to do. Is I'm the curator of art right now, and I want some artists to paint and paint with bold strokes. And Prime gave me, he's gonna give me 15 to 18 a year that I can go at, and that's where I want to be because that's my comfort zone. I know what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm looking at, and nobody can come in here and do nothing except observe and smile.
Well, I appreciate the answer to my question. A lot of people are thinking
I have no interest in a defensive coordinator spot. I don't want to call play for play with some of these damn play callers. They're nuts.
You just want to coach the dog.
They don't do screen and draw on second and long anymore. They try to attack you. I'm like, what?
You just want to coach the dogs up front and make sure they get great penetration, get some sacks, get some pressure on the boys. That's all you're here for.
Let's hunt, baby.
Hey, buddy.
Let's hunt. It's about the hunt. It's about the journey. Like my good friend Michael Irvin says, with the 5 eyes, 2 in his head and 3 in his name, it's about the distance travel.
Listen, my man, I'm so glad we had this great conversation. More importantly, let's keep it up to speed and see if we can get some justice in Okeechobee.
No, we're not worried about justice. We're going to get some transparency, some accountability, and then we're going to teach a nation about our rights because the school system is failing us. And then you saw our school grades in Florida. Come on, Ron DeSantis. Come on, baby. We got to do something better. Come on. We done fell to a 20-year low in Florida with our grades. Come on, man. We ain't teaching.
Consider us friend, not foe. I'll help you in any way I can, my friend. I'll probably be physically.
Listen, brother, I've never considered you a foe. You just was on your radio show pandering to whatever you were pandering to. You know, it kept it going. It didn't take no turkey off my table, son.
Don't judge me.
I don't know why that one picture way back in the day ignited you all this time and you still haven't let it go.
No, bullcrap, I haven't let it go. Hey, man, hold on. I got to stand. Hold on. No.
I got a question. I got a question for the other 2 people.
Go back and check.
I got a question for the other. No, go back, nothing. I got a question for Diaco and the other young man that was on here that asked me a question about Travis Hunter.
Right.
Would you 2 say in this conversation today with me and Mr. Clem that he's let that go from that he don't flick?
No, Bubba doesn't let anything go. That's what makes him Bubba.
Thank you.
Oh, screw you. Let me tell you something, 99. Hey, 99.
Diaco,
yes, sir.
Would you answer the question for me?
You answer. Jay.
I would say you're pretty accurate there.
Screw you.
Mr. Sapp, I have to tell you that Bubba has let it go.
Hold on.
He didn't ask you, Lummy.
Go back and check your boss's text when you got that job, and you let me know if I didn't let it go.
I'm talking about this morning, and even in that text in your explanation, you gave him a chance, and he'll be a good force in there for you. How would you know this?
I know this because Dion believes in you, and you are a winner.
That's
and
it.
You know how to.
You just got to be believed in. That's it. Somebody else just got to believe in you.
He believes in you, and he gave.
Right.
And you, all you needed
I
was.
don't get no credit. Nothing with me. Just him.
I know. I was texting him to tell him thank you. I texted him.
Come out one day to be a head coach, but it's because that guy believes in you. Not that. You know what, Warren? I think you're a little older, you're matured, and, some of the things you went through in your past might have molded you for this position right here. None of that came out your mouth.
Oh, my God. I can't say the right thing all the time. I'm doing spontaneous. Come on,
None of that came out your mouth.
Come on, Warren.
None of that came out your mouth. None of that.
Come on, man. You just got to be a
words
ball
matter.
buster.
Words do matter.
They do.
You 2 guys on the
and
set
you know what the words I have for you?
It's a 3-0 judge panel that you, Todd Clem, Bubba the Love Sponge, our friend, our foe, or whatever you want to call it, because these are your words, not mine, haven't let go something from a great commercial a long time ago.
So
because
wrong.
I don't know who. I still don't even. Whoa, so wrong.
You are so wrong. I want nothing but the best for you. I am so proud of you. I am so.
No one said you didn't want the best for me. I'm just saying you haven't let go. I don't flick with your friend.
I wouldn't be calling you.
Years ago.
I wouldn't be calling you if I didn't have an admiration for you and I didn't have respect for you.
I got it. Have a good day.
Warren, why? See,
well, he's great with the way he leaves calls.
I mean, why does he got to turn this all around on me?
You said all of that before the call, though. That he's got a second chance, and this. You mean almost verbatim what he said. You had just said maybe an hour ago before we called.
I'm I feel as if this was adversarial.
No, I think he was just giving you some good radio, man. He was smiling.
I mean, and Dion obviously showed him the text because I texted Dion and said, Dion, I am so proud of you for giving Warren a second chance because I don't know how many coaches would be in the Warren Sapp hiring game, and you hired him, and this is going to be a great opportunity for him.
But I think he was saying too is that you weren't giving him the credit for being older and wiser, which you were earlier.
You're just like, does he think that he was just giving the credit to Dion for giving Sapp a chance?
Yes.
Is that what he felt like?
Yeah. That's what I feel like it somehow spun to it.
I don't know how that got spun into that. When I'm calling him, when I'm calling
he
him,
spun you out, Bubba.
When I'm calling him to tell him we're here for you. You got violated.
Well, Bubba, because he didn't hear the first hour before when you were saying all those things, and then when you got on, you're like, I told Dion, and Dion believed in you. He didn't hear where you were like, man, Sapp is wiser, he's older, he's got his head on straight, he's going to be a good coach. And
I don't know.
He just heard that Dion gave you a chance.
I got to go to words because I'm way late.
Are you shook?
I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm just a little disappointed in the fact that he just completely. I mean, Jay, you were here and witnessed this how this all
I thought
went
that was
down.
an incredible interview, and I don't think he's holding anything against you. I think it was just getting a little needle in on you at the end. I honestly do, because you're never speechless. You're speechless, Bubba.
I don't know how I mend and then burn a bridge.
You don't hold that against him anymore, right?
No. I never spoke of that
in years.
Has anybody hear me speak of that?
Recently?
Seth, you've been with the show for a while. I've never spoke about that instance.
I thought we didn't like Sapp for a while.
Well, we didn't.
Okay.
When he acts like that.
Well, yeah, I think that was part of it.
What was your whole spin on this whole thing? I mean, we were dancing together. Everything was great.
My spin? I think it was awesome. I was glad. I was going to say yes to whatever question that he asked us. I was glad he included me in there, the young man that asked him about Travis Hunter.
Sure.
And Bubba, it's
What just happened?
A great segment, buddy.
Let me go into words.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.